Measured, intriguing. In the autumn of 1881, a young monk walked alone into a village where everyone was dying. He did not go there to escape death. Instead, he went there to meet it. It is 2026. In a dark apartment in Seoul, a woman named Ji-yoon sits before a laptop, the only light in the room. She is 28. She used to make documentaries, but tonight, she is reading her 6th rejection email of the year. She has forgotten why she started any of this. A library book borrowed weeks ago sits on her desk, unopened. The Lamp of the Soul. She turns to a random page, finding a single line about a man in a storm. His name was Gyeongheo. At 28, he was one of the most respected scholars in Korea, a master of text and theory, on his way to visit his own teacher. But these historical records are more than chronicles of the dead. They are practical mirrors, held up to reflect the same paralysis we feel today. The storm of 1881 is violent. Gyeongheo's robes are soaked black, his sandals are buried in mud, and he hasn't eaten in 2 days when the village appears through the rain. The silence is unnatural. No lamps burn in the windows. No smoke rises from the chimneys. The village has been hollowed out by sickness. He knocks on the first door. An old voice tells him to run. 3 have died in that house alone. The second door brings an angry shout to get away. The third house is silent, save for the sound of someone moaning inside. Every door in the settlement refuses him. By the time he reaches the edge of the village, he has run out of houses and out of hope. This is the encounter. It is the moment when every survival strategy fails, and there is nowhere left to hide. Beneath a great old tree, Gyeongheo sinks into the mud. Water runs down his face. He is a master of logic who suddenly has no idea what to do. For 12 years, he has lived in the safety of libraries and lecture halls, refining his understanding of the universe through ink and paper. He memorized every verse of the Diamond Sutra, reciting with the confidence of an untested scholar. All things are like a dream, the text says, like a bubble, like a shadow. He knows the philosophy of impermanence by heart. Kneeling in the rain, he realizes he has carried those words like a parrot carries speech. The verse was a beautiful object in his mind. It was never a knife that cut him open. Theoretical knowledge provides no protection when you are actually facing your own end. In the mud, his academic armor vanishes. The abstract words of the sutra suddenly turn into visceral facts. His own shivering body is the dream. The village is the bubble already gone. The lightning is him. He begins to laugh. It is the laughter of someone who realizes the thing he spent his life fearing was never real to begin with. He stops trying to survive. As he yields to his own vulnerability, the terror that held him in place evaporates. Clarity arrives at the exact moment we stop fighting for control and surrender to the reality of the storm. Gyeongheo stays in the village for 3 days. He does not flee the sickness. He walks directly into it. He carries water for the thirsty. He sits beside those gasping their last breaths. He buries the contagious dead when no one else will touch them. He does all of this without preaching a single word. His courage is a mechanical result of his surrender. Because the ego that used to guard his safety has shattered, there is nothing left to block him from being useful to others. When the sickness runs its course on the 4th day, he leaves. He never spoke of those 3 days again, but those who knew him later saw a different man walk out of that village. Awakening is the endurance to stay present and useful in the middle of a disaster. In her apartment, Jian closes the book. The first gray light of dawn is touching the buildings across the street. She looks at the 6 rejection emails on her screen. They are her 5 doors. She has spent months trying to find a way around them, but now she simply sits with them. The rejection is just the environment she is in. She picks up her phone and types the first honest sentences she has written in a long time. A message to her mother. breaking the silence she's kept for months. She presses send. The weight in her chest shifts. For the first time in weeks, she lies down and falls into a deep, restorative sleep. This historical proof has been placed in your hands. You have seen the monk in the rain and the woman at her desk. True resilience is lighting the lamp and choosing to stay in the dark.